Pharaoh's troubled sleep. One night, Pharaoh woke, shaken by a dream unlike any other. 7 fat cows consumed by 7 gaunt ones. 7 healthy ears of grain swallowed by 7 scorched and thin. But no magician, no wise man could reveal its meaning. Pharaoh bolting upright in bed, sweat on his brow, firelight flickering across golden walls. His expression is haunted. In the background, Egyptian magicians look perplexed and silent. The cupbearer remembers. Then the cupbearer remembered a prison, a Hebrew, a dream once interpreted perfectly. The cupbearer, in royal garments, gasps and steps forward in Pharaoh's court. He gestures with urgency, recalling Joseph. The lighting shifts from soft to dramatic, symbolizing the turning point. Joseph is summoned, and Pharaoh sent for Joseph, swiftly, from the prison to the palace. He was shaved, robed, and brought before the most powerful man in the world. Joseph walking through towering palace gates. Sunlight beams down as guards escort him. He wears fresh white linen, but his eyes carry the wisdom of suffering. Wide-angle lens shows palace grandeur. The divine confidence. Pharaoh said, "I have heard you can interpret dreams." But Joseph replied, "I cannot, but God will give Pharaoh the answer he seeks." Joseph stands humbly but confidently before Pharaoh. Pharaoh sits on an elevated golden throne, leaning in. The contrast between royal opulence and Joseph's spiritual poise fills the frame. The interpretation. "The dreams are one," Joseph said. 7 years of abundance will come, followed by 7 years of severe famine. Let Pharaoh appoint a wise man to store grain while there is still time. Joseph gestures to symbolic carvings of grain and cattle on the palace wall, explaining calmly while court officials listen in stunned silence. Pharaoh watches intently, half rising from his throne. Pharaoh's decision. A hush fell over the court. Then Pharaoh rose and declared, "Can we find anyone like this man, one in whom is the spirit of God?" Pharaoh pointing directly at Joseph. Courtiers and priests freeze in surprise. Golden light streams from above onto Joseph, making him the undeniable focus of destiny. Joseph is exalted. Joseph was lifted from prisoner to prince. Pharaoh clothed him in fine linen, placed a gold chain around his neck, and set him over all of Egypt. Pharaoh placing a signet ring on Joseph's hand. Priests kneel. Citizens cheer in the streets beyond the palace. Joseph stands stunned yet firm in fine robes and royal ornaments. Power and purpose. At 30 years old, Joseph became governor of the mightiest empire. Not for power, but for purpose. Joseph stands atop a balcony overlooking Egypt, royal robes flow in the wind, with storehouses and workers visible in the background. A visionary pose, hands folded, eyes scanning the horizon. The preparation begins. And Joseph began his mission, storing grain, managing harvests, preparing for what others could not see. He was no longer just a dreamer. He was the answer to a nation's survival. Joseph leading teams of scribes, grain being poured into vast silos, carts arriving from across Egypt. A final shot of Joseph in silhouette against the setting sun, watching it all unfold, from prison rags to royal robes. Not by ambition, not by luck, but by the hand of God, who writes purpose in silence and promotion in pain. In part 6, the brothers bow down. Joseph's past walks through the doors of his palace, and a reunion 20 years in the making begins, but not with peace.